Hello everyone, welcome back to Bear Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap a Hong Kong action thriller movie, called Infernal Affairs. Be ready for some spoilers ahead, and hope the video makes your day better. At the beginning of the movie, the boss of Triad, Han Sam, decides to send several young gangsters into the police academy as his moles, and the protagonist Lau is one of them. The scene moves to an office in the academy. A young cadet, Chan, is being tested by two officers, which turns out he is perfect for an undercover agent. Over the course of 10 years, Lau has quickly risen through ranks in the police force, while Chan experiences great stress from his undercover work. Inside a shop, Lau is buying a stereo set, where Chan seems to be the shop owner there. Chan tells him only to buy the amplifier, and recommends another place for speakers. Shortly after, as Lau finishes ordering and leaves for another shop, a man comes in cussing Chan for sending his customer away, revealing Chan is just watching the store and the owner has paid Chan's gang protection money. After that, on a rooftop, Chan meets his superintendent, Wong, who is the only one knows his identity in the police force. Chan complains that Wong keeps failing to keep his words of letting him retire from this undercover work. Nonetheless, he still provides Wong with the information that Han is going to buy drugs from Thai drug dealers within the week. At a police office, Lau's subordinates report that the suspects won't talk without their attorney. On hearing this, Lau soon disguises himself as a lawyer and enters the interrogation room. Initially, the suspect remains skeptical. But as Lau perfectly acts as an experienced attorney who is sent by their boss and considerable about his family, the man gives out his brother's number. After that, Lau's colleague manages to locate his brother using the number, making big progress on the case. One of his inspectors, Big B, compliments his impressive skills, and asks how he knows some of the details, which makes Lau hesitate. A call interrupts the conversation, and Lau answers it, after which he tells the others they have to work overtime the night. Later at an apartment, Wong explains their mission to the group that a drug cartel is going to trade with ties tonight in the building across the street, and they will take action when their agent gives them enough information. As Wong proceeds to brief the case, Lau realizes their target tonight is actually his boss, Han Sam. After that, as the group set up their devices, Lau walks out to make a phone call. Wong follows up excusing himself for this urgent mission and explains it had to be confidential till the last moment. Lau seems to inform his dad that he has to work late, while in reality, it's Han in the other end, which Wong doesn't think much of it. Inside the room, the police are detecting cell phone signals in the area, and Han Sam's group has come into their sight. After Han and his henchmen enter a room, he orders everyone to take out their cell phones. Two of them, Kung and Piro, are told to get the car ready, while Chan is told to bring the Thai dealers. Meanwhile, Han seems to receive the police radio channel from someone. At the street, Kung notices a couple is likely to be watching them, but Piro says he thinks too much, as he sees the couple making out. From their conversation, the two are indeed undercover cops. Are they still recruiting this, cause this looks like an interesting job. Soon, as Chan comes back alongside the Thai drug dealers, the Thai leader hands Han a cigar. Chan takes out the drug hidden in the cigar, and sniffs up the powder. After which he tells his boss the quality is good. Receiving Han's call, Kung soon sets off to get the drug, prompting the undercover couple to notify the team. Lau asks if they should send a car to tail them, but Wong seems to be fully concentrating on his earphone, gesturing to stay quiet. In Han's room, Thais begin to count their money. At the same time, Wong suddenly instructs his men to go to a container terminal, which seems to be the place of delivery, worrying Lau a lot. However, Han seems to be able to hear the information as well, and soon calls his men to drive around the city to distract the following cops, which is noticed by Chan, who stands by a window. In no time, Wong is aware that his radio channel is leaked, so he tells the group to switch it. Wong's tapping finger catches Lau's attention, and the camera then shows us Chan is also tapping his finger. Then, Wong tells a subordinate to inform the chasing car to cancel the action on the old channel. Han, who also hears the info, orders his men to retrieve the drugs with a smile on his face. Lau uses his device to eavesdrop on Wong's signal, discovering he is receiving Morse code from someone. Wong soon orders his men to drive to another place to arrest the trading gangsters. Kung meets the Thais on the coast and is checking the quality of the goods. In the meantime, Lau inserts a device into his laptop secretly. Knowing the goods are fine, Han tells Kung to take the delivery, oblivious to Chan sending out the message, which prompts Wong to make his men ready for action. Before Han is about to send the ties away, Lau spreads out a message in the area. Random passers-by are confused to receive a message saying, "Insider detected, terminate the deal." As soon as Han sees the message, he tells Kung to toss all the cocaine into the sea immediately. At the same time, the cops begin to run at them. Kung manages to run into the sea with drugs, before being arrested by the cops, infuriating Wong. But shouldn't everyone in Wong's room receive the message as well? At this point, both Wong and Han are sure there is someone who has been leaking information in their organizations. As Chan walks up trying to talk, Han suddenly smashes his plaster cast, leaving him in excruciating pain, but doesn't find anything suspicious. As the camera moves, we can see a receiver outside of the window, but if the receiver can't be found, why do they even bother to use Morse code? Then Wong's team breaks into the room, arresting everyone, but in the police station, Wong has to release Han's men since they don't have any direct evidence. As Lau and his girlfriend are moving into their new apartment, Han calls in saying they suffered a huge loss from the incident, so he wants him to find out the mole. Somewhere else, Chan just finishes his mandatory therapy with Dr. Lee. Before he leaves, he jokingly says he's a cop, to which Lee responds saying she is also a cop, leaving the two in laughter. At a golf course, Lau's superior assigns him to investigate the mole in Han's case, since he has a clean career record and has solved many cases before. When the gangsters are filling out a form about their information, Chan mocks Kung he doesn't even know how to spell bodyguard while he also writes down a wrong one. In a cinema, Han gives Lau his men's information for background investigations, which has been watched by Chan secretly. When Han and Lau leave successively, he follows up as he didn't see Lau's face clearly. When he follows behind cautiously, the worst thing happens. This makes Lau fully alert and hides behind a corner. When he walks out, Chan is gone. The next day, Lau starts his investigation in another department, and is greeted by Wong there, who tells him their agent almost finds out the mole yesterday, but lost him at last. Imagine there is any surveillance camera around the cinema, it will be the end of the story. For days, Lau contemplates what to do about the case, and he decides to order Big B to follow Wong from now on. Chan bumps into his ex-girlfriend, Mei, who he hasn't met for 6 years. It seems that Mei also doesn't know his undercover agent identity, still seeing him as a gangster. The two have some small talk where Mei says she has married and has a 5-year-old daughter. However, after Chan leaves, the little girl corrects her mother saying she is already 6, for which the mother apologizes afterward. But as she watches Chan leaves, complex expressions appear on her face. If you don't want to afford child support, go join a drug cartel. Just kidding. Chan is actually on his way to meet Wong, while Wong is getting spied on by Big B. As Wong enters a building, Big B informs Lau of Wong's whereabouts. Following that, Lau calls Han Sam, saying he has the mole's location. As Chan and Wong are exchanging information, Chan receives a call from Piro telling him that Han has found the mole's location. Big B notices a group of gangsters arrive at the building, and soon informs Lau, making Lau go to the place alongside the other cops. In the meantime, the gangsters are taking every elevator and stair to prevent the mole from running away. Chan and Wong discover the elevators are all going up, and there are lots of footsteps from the stairs. Wong lets Chan go to take the window washing scaffolding on the roof to escape, and he decides to take the elevator. As the gangsters are coming out from the elevator, Wong pretends to be reading a magazine and talking to his wife on his cell phone. On the other side, Chan manages to get out of the building to the back side, and goes take a taxi to the front door. As he arrives at the front and is walking toward the building, Chan is left in utter frozen shock to witness Wong's death. Kung pulls him away and tells him to run, and soon Big B and his colleagues get into a gunfight with the gangsters. Kung and Chan manage to drive away. Lau arrives at the scene, and seems to not expect this coming. Couldn't Wong just leave with Chan together, or just require to enter a random room with his senior police officer identity? But I guess the scriptwriter just wants him dead anyway. In the car, Kung tells Chan the cop is pretty tough, as they beat him up for straight 10 minutes, and he still didn't give out any information. it turns out Kung has been severely wounded, and he lets Chan leave right away since the accident is going to attract the cops. Lau calls Han asking if it's necessary for such a scene, to which Han replies that sooner or later, it's either he lives or the cop lives. After the call, Lau looks emotionless. As he sees Wong's cell phone, something crosses his mind. He contacts Chan saying he is in charge of the case, and he now needs his cooperation to take down Han Sam. Later, TV news reported Kung as the undercover cop who sacrificed during the accident, which makes Han believe he is the mole. Chan then reminds Han if he has sent him to their warehouse, saying it might have been leaked to the police. Han soon sets out to check his warehouse, which is tailed by some cops. Lau tells the others to cancel the chase since the gangsters will just drive around if they see them following. After the chasing car leaves, Han and his men start to head to their warehouse. In reality, Chan keeps updating the gangsters' location to Lau using Morse code, so the police also arrive at the parking building where the gangsters go. As Han finishes checking, and two of his cars drive ahead, Chan gets off the car saying Han told him to stay behind. When the cars drive into a lower floor, they are intercepted by the waiting cops. In the chaos, Han runs away from a stair and makes a call to Lau while running. Lau walks out from a side, revealing he has betrayed Han Sam as he wants to live a normal life now. Everything seems to have returned to normal. Chan can revert to his true identity as a cop while Lau has erased his criminal connections by eliminating the triad. The following day, Chan comes to Lau's place. Lau is surprised to learn he's actually the guy from the stereo shop. Chan says all he wants is his normal identity because he has been tired of being a mole, but Lau says he doesn't have the password of Wong's confidential file, and Chan then tells him the password is the Morse code for Undercover. As Lau is going to recover his identity, Chan inadvertently sees the paper document bag used by Han to collect info on the desk. He slowly stands up, realizing this senior police he cooperated with is actually the mole in the police force. When Lau comes back seeing Chan absent, he notices the bag has been moved, knowing Chan has found out his true identity. He soon goes back to Wong's computer, erases Chan's file from the police database. I know it's hard to accept the revelation, but shouldn't Chan at least pretend he didn't see the file instead of straight alerting Lau, since he has already been an undercover agent for 10 years. The next day in Lau's home, he finds a compact disc that records his phone call with Han Sam, and he receives a call from Chan saying he found it in Han Sam's office and demanding a meeting. When Lau enters the building, we can see someone is following behind. Chan disarms Lau and handcuffs him. Lau says he doesn't have a choice when he was young, but now he just wants to be a good cop. However, Chan rejects Lau's plea to help him conceal his criminal past. Then, Lau reveals he has deleted his identity so no one will believe him, prompting Chan to hold his pistol to Lau's head. Big B arrives on the scene shortly and orders Chan to release Lau. Chan holds Lau as a hostage at gunpoint and backs into an elevator. Chan is shot in the head while moving into the elevator. Big B then reveals to Lau that he is also a mole planted by Han in the police force, and assures Lau that he has destroyed Han's tape. When they take the elevator to the ground floor together. When the elevator door opens, Lau walks out with his warrant card, saying he is a cop. In the elevator, a dead Big B leans against the wall, indicating Lau eliminates him. Chan's file in the police academy proves his identity as an undercover cop, while Big B is identified as the mole in the police force. Chan is buried next to Wong, and Lau salutes Chan at his funeral. A flashback reaffirms the point that Lau wished he had taken a different route in life. The end. What do you guys think of this movie? Let us know in the comment below. And don't forget to like the video to help the channel, and subscribe to Bear Recaps for more content like this. Until next time, see you soon.